Good evening humans, tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Metallic Black Ranger from Hasbro. If you know me, you know I like my translucent plastic and my glitter. This combines that. Collecting this whole team has been an absolute joy, so let's get right into this review. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, Hasbro did a great job here, just like they did with the rest of the Metallic Rangers, especially if you, like me, are a fan of translucent plastic and glitter. Also pearlescence, as we have a lot of pearlescent plastic here for the hands and the feet. Just this really nice plastic. It's got kind of a just gorgeous sheen to it. And I guess my only, not complaint, but something I wish was a little bit different, and this is looking a little darker through the viewer on my phone. But in person, the black isn't very, very dark. It's almost more of a gray, and that's a little bit sad. And I understand that that black has got to be a real hard color to do in translucence, especially because you can see here, the visor actually does stick out. And that's pure black paint. So, but actually, while we're talking about the helmet, one of the things that this line has done really well, or this version of the team, is that they've updated all the helmets. The only one that didn't get that was Pink, who was released a little over a year ago, and I don't think they just had the lead time to do that. But as you can see here, a little more screen accurate, a little more rounded. The horns come up a little bit more in the front, where the old one is a little more tall. We don't get the silver lines on the trunk here, which is a little sad. But other than that, really cool that they updated all these helmets. So we have them. So I would almost feel very confident saying that eventually we're going to get another release of the MMPR team with these helmets in non-translucent plastic. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. But overall, again, I still just really dig this approach to the Rangers. So that's aesthetics. When it comes to accessories, we more or less get the expected loadout that we have gotten with the other Metallic Rangers. However, there's a couple tweaks here that I think actually make it my favorite of the group, which surprised the hell out of me. So let's get right into it, starting with hands. And obviously right out of the box, we get our gripping hands, just like we got with the original Black Ranger, just on that pearlescent plastic. Then we get, and this is one of those tweaks that I talked about, a couple of claw posed hands, and these are great. These look awesome. I, again, don't know why we didn't get something like this with Yellow Ranger, because that would make the most sense. And but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not going to complain. They look awesome. It's cool to have them, and they add posing possibilities to literally any of the other male Rangers. So going on from there, let's move on to the civilian head. So we get Adam, actor Johnny Young Bosch, and looks great. Again, they've just been killing these likenesses. No wash or anything like that on the hair or the likeness, but I mean, it doesn't need it. Again, your lighting's going to bring that out, and just really well done. So they are doing them justice. That's cool to see. Then we move on to the Zeo Crystal, cast in that glow-in-the-dark / UV reactive plastic. So as you can see here, that kind of key shape, and yeah, so that's really cool. Then we get the effects piece, and this is the same thing that came with the original release of the Black Ranger. However, this time, instead of just a straight up blue plastic, if I remember correctly, now we have this kind of baby blue with the glitter in it, and it looks almost watery. I really like this one. This is the second tweak that I just really enjoyed. I just love the way this thing looks. Then we get, and obviously, as you can see, the peg on the end, this fits on the end of the axe, as you can see, just like that. And that is a good segue into the axe itself, which is the exact same thing. No translucent plastic here for this version of the axe. It's just literally what we got with the original release with the silver and yellow paint, and it functions the same. So as you can see, that piece moves up and down, whether you want it in cannon or axe mode. And then finally, of course, we get the blaster cast in red plastic with that little bit of white. And that is accessories. Moving along to articulation, obviously we're on the same buck that we were for the original release of the Black Ranger, so there's not going to be any changes there. However, as I have noted, I believe in at least one of the other Metallic Ranger reviews, because of the translucent plastic and the pearlescent plastics, we are dealing with a little harder plastic, and that is going to change the functionality slightly. And we'll get into that as we go along. So starting at the head, we are coming up about that far, which is definitely pretty nice. Looking down about that far, which is okay. Not too much tilt, not too much room under there, but you do get that little bit. Then you have butterfly joints. We have our arms, which come up just past the T position, we have bicep swivel, we have double jointed elbows, which are going to fold us to about there. We have hinge and swivel at the wrists, all horizontal hinges there. We have, a ball joint here in the diaphragm, so getting all the way around. We combine that with the ab crunch here at the waist. So we're going to get about that far forward, about that far back, and you can hear the ratchet in there. They come down to the hips, and we're coming about this far, which it's okay. It kind of works, but you're not going to get any great kicks with it. Then we get thigh swivel. We get double jointed knees, which are going to bring us to fold in half. Then we get boot swivel, and we get really nice point. So I'm like, okay, just kind of a notch forward. And then of course that legendary rocker. And that is where I want to point out that a lot of these ankles for me have kind of been hit or miss. Like the left ankle here is, as you could hear, like you can hear those detents. There's barely any detents here in the right leg, and my Red Ranger didn't have any. So all I did was get a little bit of Kiki's joint fix, and I'll leave a link to where you can get it in the description below, and just worked wonders. Absolutely made it feel like new. So that's Articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other Lightning Collection figures, with some other Hasbro, with some imports, with some monsters, finally with an Articulated Icons Oni and yours truly in human form as an Articulated Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on the Mighty Morphin Metallic Black Ranger from Hasbro is that it's another great addition into the both Lightning Collection and the Metallic Rangers as a whole. And this is an interesting one where, again, the accessories were great, actually a standout amongst the team. And you know, obviously we get the corrected helmet again. Again, the only one not getting that was pink. But the only, I guess, mark against it was this. I wish the actual black plastic was a little bit darker, but I mean, that's a very minor gripe in the long scheme of things. So, you know, absolutely pick this up if you are a fan of the Black Ranger, if you're a fan of Power Rangers, if you're a fan of Johnny Young Bosch, all of that, because it is available right now on Hasbro Pulse, as the rest of the Metallic Rangers are. So I will include a link in the description below to where you can get yours. So that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and or sharing. And beyond that, there'll be other ways to support the channel, in the description below as well, not limited to the Patreon I just started. So please check that out. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching one last time, and I hope you take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.